Today, many business leaders and advocates are meeting for the Association of Residential and Resources Conference. So this morning, I am joined by one of the breakout speakers, Caryn Sullivan. Thanks so much for coming in this morning, Caryn.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. We have lots of things to talk about with you this morning. But first of all, can we just start off with kind of what this conference is that's happening, what's going on, and what you will be talking about there?
Okay, so the conference is a variety of speakers who will be directing comments to the people who help others to live successfully in the community. So people like my son, I have a 24-year-old with autism. So he is a recipient of services from Fraser, which is one of the organizations that will be here. One of many in the state that help people, you know, who have special needs to live successfully in the community.
Kind of help them adapt to life and have a successful life, really, right?
Right.
I mean, how has that helped your son and your family?
Well, it's helped him tremendously. He lives in an apartment in St. Paul with support from Fraser staff, and he has a one-on-one with a fabulous young man named Toff who helps him to get out into the community, learn how to take the bus, deal with his anxiety. He's got an arms worker from Fraser who is helping him with that. So he's doing really well.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really good news. And at 24, that's a good time to have that help, because it's really when you're kind of kicking off your life, really.
Right.
So how could people, if they maybe don't have any services like that, could they learn more about that here or at the conference? Or?
Sure. There'll be vendors at the conference who will have information about the services that they provide.
And you're going to be speaking. What will you be talking about?
I speak with a woman named Janina Sitch. She and I have both had a lot of challenges in life, both deaths of people very close to us, but also losses that are termed ambiguous loss.
That's what I was just going to say. You're talking about ambiguous loss, right?
So it's those things that aren't concrete, that aren't easily definable. For example, she experienced PTSD as a law enforcement officer. When my son was diagnosed with autism, I thought life was going in one direction, and suddenly it went in another direction that was very fuzzy and unclear. And so, there's grief and there's anxiety and there are just a lot of emotional challenges that go along with that. And so the two of us have kind of reflected back on our lives and done a lot of studying and put together this talk where we identify what this is. And Dr. Pauline Boss from the University of Minnesota coined this term, ambiguous loss. And we kind of take it down to the everyday level in terms of what it's meant for us, what it means for others, and here are some strategies for helping you to deal with it.
Wonderful. And you have a book that's out, and it's up for a great award, right? Bitter or Better, Grappling with Life on the op-ed page, correct?
Correct.
All right, so tell me a little bit about this book and what people could find in it.
This is a book where I reluctantly wrote a memoir because, as I said, I've had a lot of life's experiences that have been challenging, but I wove into it lessons that I've learned from the people that I've written about as a columnist for the Pioneer Press. And as you noted, the foreword is by Vince Flynn. Some of his story is in there. I've written about Mary Jo Copeland and Daryl Thompson, a variety of Minnesotans, Coach Kill from the Gophers. People who've all experienced different challenges but have, taken those experiences oftentimes to help other people.
Right.
And so it's sort of my journey that came to an arc when my husband died unexpectedly in 2009, and how I've gone through that process in the last 6 years of moving forward. And it's intended to be a hopeful story for other people because everyone's got a story.
Right. All right, so if someone wanted to get this book, what should they know?
It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I have a website, KarynMSullivan.com, where people can purchase it there. I'll be speaking today and selling it at the back of the room afterwards.
Perfect. And I was going to say, if people want to come here, you speak today, what time?
10:15 at the Convention Center.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else you want to add before
just the title of the book came to me as a result of a conversation with the priest who kind of put everything into the framework of we all have difficulties, we all have adversities, but we all have a choice. Hence the title of the book.
All right.
And I choose better.
Good. All right. Thank you so much for coming in to chat.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.